Welcome to the program, folks. I am your Happy Healer, Keith Landy for President. Today's date is September 20th, 2019. Time now is 10:38 p.m. and we are on our final push for the final evening. And it'll be an ongoing thing, talking to our local officials and reaching out to different officials and just making that push, because if not, how do we ever get known? That's the question. We're doing the hard work, but we deserve to get known. So that's what this is about. And so, Mayor Demings, we are back on our third and final night, and I just want to give the real attention to you, sir, because you are seriously on my radar. Because if I am president, we have work to do in this city, and I intend to do that work. And that is going to be an exciting thing for us all to realize. And that is so cool. And I'll be stepping out here in just a moment, but let us get started. Mayor Demings, it was my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce to you, sir, the humble and honest campaign of your Happy Healer for President. I am Keith Landy, and I am seriously approaching my run as I am, because this is who I am, and most comfortable being in the public eye is how I am in real life. I am eagerly presenting my campaign to you only after months of work. Now I'm in the progress of selling my home so I can throw that in the same. Just as my Happy Healer Love Nuts hard at work is doing. And indeed, that's what makes me your people's candidate, your happy healer for president. By the way, I had our team put together a little one of our memory, and I hope you would award me with some of your also valuable time. Have a look. I really think a man of your duty, respect, caliber, and empathy for the people. I really feel that about you, and I get that. And I myself count on that when I come to you and I say that I really think you'd want to hear what I have to say on many things. And you can have a pivotal role on what I believe will be the campaign that wins the Democratic nomination. They don't know about me yet, Mayor, but believe me when I say some big shots are watching the campaign, and I will get this right. We have to grow. And sir, I say this humbly as your people's candidate and Happy Healer. I have had a journey that many Americans have faced. I know what we must do. As SAG-AFTRA said of me, this is the Screen Actors Guild, you know what they said, sir. They said that I was a great candidate, that I perceived the problems and seemed to have the right fix. I agree with them, sir. If that is not enough, I have proven my ability to turn so many that have before seemed all but locked in their insanity, and yet your happy and humble Happy Healer for President turned them too. So I know, given my living in our account and where you're coming from as mayor, and I really want to ask you what kinds of things we can do to improve our conditions. I want to learn from you. You are by far the more skilled politician than I. Like I always say, I am just your Happy Healer for President. You hold the key to knowledge for me, and sir, I need that knowledge to deliver this gift to the people, to save our Democratic Party, and to beat Trump, sir. Sir, I say this stuff humbly because I can't imagine how you receive it, really. I am me. But I hope you can feel my confidence, because I know there is no one else that seems as right to the times as I do. I would like to get into that and so much more with you, sir. That is why I eagerly anticipate my reaching out to your office, which I will do eventually here. And I work very hard every day, sir, and it's already now getting later. And before getting this out, I have always communicated in such a way, and I live my life in a bubble with the people that I love in that way and the people that I talk to. And I would be listening to my national security, to which I am able to adhere to communication standards that allow me to continue to live in my life in an open stance, if you understand what I mean. And so getting to our basic core values is my goal, sir. I know that this will take a very analytical approach, and that's why I have what I anticipate will be a very special relationship with your Happy Healer. That would be with you and me, my mayor, your Happy Healer, so that we can have a relationship that we can grow and show as an example that your Happy Healer and your future president Happy Healer, of course, this is the dream that I have that can be bringing about a future that is ours. In fact, it's so ours, it should have been here already. We only now need to get the work done. And then watch what this enlightenment brings. The inspirational aspect for our people wanting to come together for a higher purpose is there. And now it's needed more than ever. And it just so happens that I, your Happy Healer for President, is also an inspirational speaker. I love to inspire and I live to inspire, and I always and forevermore inspire all to whom I come in contact with. I make sure they are aware that I can learn off of them just as easily as I can further open them up to the power of suggestion to love for the soul. And sir, I love to inspire as your Happy Healer for President, and that's my number one goal, is to inspire the many people who have fallen into deep and desperate times in what feels like a losing battle with self. And I know that you understand this, Mayor, that many people are living in hells of their own making at the deepest of levels. And there I find the honest broker of truth, and they know that the fake lives they lead are in total retrospect to the very nature of the truth we see, and it so holds back that spirit in each man when he doesn't recognize that truth. The result is so ugly and catastrophic to the truth of what is actually possible. So you know that greed must be in control, because love wouldn't be so sloppy, for one thing, because it cares. Greed is the one-size-fits-all solution that actually has no solutions and only worries about justification of money spent in greedy pursuits. We know this. Justification of actions and becoming of our truest expectations, and that we are always shocked, expecting more and being let down, and making up the difference with excuse and coping and coming to terms with monumental loss. That is the human experience, the way too many of us have experienced it, that we know we could have done better. In fact, the reality that we witness is only a sham because the fact that we accept it to the way things are. But when we elect love, and essentially that's what my candidacy is, putting love on the ballot, but so much more. It's not just that. It's so many other things as well. It's my education and experiences. Everything we have all been through since and counts as my empathy and understanding of others through that empathy. I have ultimately been through many experiences and relate with many people, Mayor. So my candidacy, that's simple, sir, because I'm prepared and the only one with the right way forward, sir. So please realize that. And when you hear my story long enough, how can you really support any other candidate after getting acquainted with your Happy Healer for President? I'd say blame God. He made me in my love, and that's why I have so much love to give you, and you're so very lovely and talented in many respects, just as you are the true impressive power couple that you are. You have my respect, sir. I get how tough it is to get by, and the fact that you've made this lot in life is a testament for your love and you, sir. That is because love is the only thing that gets men working like that gets results like that, to attract love and ultimately and to give time of day and respect, to make your humble Happy Healer for President proud, if I'm allowed to be. And so that's why, and it's that simple. And I'm the best choice forward, because anything less would be unbecoming of an American populace that deserves to be happy after so many broken promises. We owe it to ourselves to be perceived in freedom and self-determination, and so that we can actually get so self-determined to free ourselves and to build on that moment, because we can have so much better. to tap into a new unused human talent just sitting there around all this greed. I can only imagine the levels of greed you see, sir. I can only say we'll make an environment where we can make a switch to the system of love in a way that can be focused mostly on what people deserve. And what they deserve is love. And they deserve a great age of redemption because no one asked for the hell greed brought while stealing whatever love created. Because that is how it's done in this world, Mayor. We all know that is true, no matter how much you wish that not to be the case. Gosh, the day that we can't say the truth is the very day we already lost our very own self-determination, sir. But I contend the way back to a self-determined reality which looks different than a determined self in the 19th century. As the human species, we are supposed to grow with the nature of God's natural truth around us, but then man, greed, and it's that greed. Sir, keep an eye out for that greed because it stops us everywhere we go, turning men into monsters, making them do things they would never ordinarily do, and it was greed forced them to do it. It's like being possessed. Some of their misdeeds and misfortune in hell, and it's doled out with a smile, while others just do it direct and into your face. All hell is too much hell to pay on the already dying American spirit, sir. And we know that its dangers are out there, and I am confident that we can all see this truth. And some people think I get too fixated on this truth, and I remind them, there are some truths that we all recognize as being true, such as God is love and truth. But if there is a devil, and I contend there is, then it's hate and lies. Love uses so many things to make its work known. A creator of all. Surely God is not bad, and the devil will so use his cunning lies and his temptation. That greed is made from that stuff, sir. And our system of capitalism took us so far, but then held us back. That's the story of capitalism. And we have to explain this stuff to people. And by putting humanity over capitalism, we're actually dealing with our human spirit as well as saving capitalism itself, at least for the time being, while we transition ourselves away from greedy things. Greed is suffering and scarcity. We need love now. I would be willing to bet my life that this is a fact that rings true for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves on the scale of socioeconomics. So ultimately, I get your role, sir. You're in a position that you worked hard for, and I admire that. I was way too focused on achieving knowledge and learning to be so committed to a single career. I was still learning to be able to even offer value to the people that could not be ignored. And that is what I am attempting to do here, sir. It takes so much courage, and so many people make the mistake of counting me out, while the more smarter ones are all too aware of the formality of the truth that I wear. They feel it, sir. That's what I have to offer. I am not a fake. I need not be. I found a real, actual, and very sane and simple and working truth. And if you would like to know what it is, sir, it's love. It's free. I have answers and ideas and ways of thinking of getting things done, and as a surety and an inspirational force of love that just very well may be the saving force this country needs. I contend I am the way, and I say, all Almighty God, I am of sound mind. Let's get me in front of an audience that matters, a national audience, one we can all ponder the truths I put out together. Let these truths come out. They are the truths in God's world around us. So simple the essence of truth is, so spoken when it's at its core is truth. It's unmistakable. Truly true, Mayor. Help me get that out. Focus on this mission, and you would want to support me any way you can, knowing that the run that I'm building is meant for all of us, and that most people I speak to know that this is self-enhancing in every sense of the word. I tell folks it literally builds new value in humanity. So let's now have a little recap to the last show dedicated to you, sir, and our commitment to this city. and the Happy Healer Love Agenda for America as for what is your plan for this country and what it means for these plans. I really hope of all the people that have seen my campaign and have allowed themselves to be swept up in the dream that you are one of them, because you know firsthand what it's like to dream and then do the impossible. You did so twice with your wife by your side doing the same thing. I am impressively proud of you, sir, and I hope that you stand by my side as a man of virtuous value and have stock in human value with people who have purpose and value, and that is my role, and that is what I believe in, miracles. I wonder why more people are not like this, Mayor. I was talking to somebody who supports me in my campaign, and I'm for sure that I have the African American vote, that I get their plight. And well, you should know that too, since you're the Orange County Sheriff. I live in an area that for about 13 years gave me a front row seat to what my black neighbors and I faced. And it was also much of the same story, and that there are two Americas, and that we found ourselves on the lower end of that equation every time. But we already know that greed is the cause of the wretched misery that we all experience. However, I have also witnessed many things, as I'm sure you can imagine, or forever I'm sure you know, given your position. Even though our stories only share in the hardships we face with wretched scarcity in the world of abundance, only down the world of humanity's playground, Disney World. Think about that, sir. We will really turn this situation around and really make it make sense for people who love, for people who want and deserve a life worth living, sir. I am not just about having all of these answers and doing nothing. No, sir. Not while people are dying. I could not do that. I have answers that I know will work, and I am confident that they are life-preserving in this case, and that anything less is all of our undoing. And we are fast approaching scarier times, it seems, in America, especially so you know that the concerns are too numerous to mention and to consider, and they're ongoing. And that is why we must get great people, and we must be great to people, and we must treat them as though they do have worth and value. That means that we care, and care is love in action. There is no other way to see that, just as the fact that it really is. So, sir, it's with great hope that we see things change. It's shocking the number of people that don't care, seemingly never cared. I mean, it's shocking how many people that literally go through their whole lives because of the perpetual now is all we will ever have. And whenever I see these folks in the perpetual now, they lack that empathy, and their anger worries me, Mayor. I think that we should all be worried. It's not natural. We all deserve to have self-determination and freedom, and they hardly have any determination at all. And that's the story here, folks. Try no will at all. They have no determination at all. So should my Happy Healer world not continue because of their hell, then we should all work together so that we do something about our sick human spirit and stop this insanity. It's the kind of sickness that allows us to engage in freedom warfare without ever addressing the underlying issues. We know how true this problem is when we see homegrown American terrorism. These are folks that are red-blooded in nature, white in their pigment, blue in their souls. They know our backwoods, and these folks get angry. Watch out, they speak our languages, and they know our backwoods. So let us not allow our soul to regress any further into the abyss. It's fast and furious, madder than hell, yet going nowhere, literally so fast in a rush to make humanity obsolete. And that, sir, is the corrosive power kept so deep within each of us, raw greed, that entrapping, eliciting, tempting, deceptive force of self-preservation over the shared responsibility we all have for each other, which is our undoing every time. Yet people are so unaware, and they prop up that greed unawarely. And how can they? Especially knowing that which the kind of hell this greed brings Take it from somebody who's been at the epicenter of this crisis so long, sir. I could see clearly what it's doing. It's modern day slavery. It's what that greed is. How can we possibly know that? Is it because without it, we wouldn't be requiring both parents to be working in the year 2019? In the 50s, it only took one parent? If that's what human rights looks like and sounds like, then greed got to it first, folks. Because all the humans I ever met desired to learn, live, love, and be so much more. They desired to discover their path, learn about their origins, and learn their destiny, and find their happiness, sir. But the reality is that most never find their way out of modern day slavery, the kind that keeps our people so busy that they're largely blind to much of what I say. But yet the truth is there for all to see, should they have the healthy and clear vision it takes to see anything at all, sir. And should have you seen how insane folks are getting? I say that with love, you know. And I know with love we can resolve that. And that's all that means. To an honest broker of truth that would agree that our country really needs their happy healer. And we can trust in the love and integrity and experiences and planning and love while we all work to rid ourselves of harmful biases that only make us weak and controllable. Sadly, I can make people act as in their biases and triggers. You know that. And they did that to us on purpose, I contend. Sir, as your happy healer, I've helped so many people with coping mechanisms take on the God's honest, unbiased truth that we've seen from our Creator. And I know that you can respect how hard it is to get the others to see eye to eye. And that is where my vision is so well, because I know how to talk to the human soul, and I do it every day, and I do it all the time. And God bless that human soul. I have not told you anything yet. I bet you would love to meet me in person, that you're honest, humble, and happy healer love nut, whom is already eager to meet you, because I know that I can help make you more happy, and that happiness can translate into a better city. And that humility that we have that's most deep to our human spirit is all encompassing, and it's the place that tells us it's interchangeable between love and God, that's with truth. And it gives us the ability to see that truth in one another when we're with that honest broker of truth, that truth that brightens all folks, all faces. And when folks are infected by the charge of their happy healer, that for people who put it all on the line for one another and just love at all costs, that love is literally the way, folks. It's a choice, and it's actually the right way forward, really. And best of all, we're all seemingly creating and craving this kind of love and truth. It's almost biblical. But look how much hate has been affecting our people. So it's clear we must do something to atone this and make our love for life overdue, or our need for greed, for hateful revenge will take us out. It's awful pursuits that lead to nothingness. Let's choose life instead. I would say, have my people contact yours, but I don't have it like that in my world yet, Mayor. So I know I will continue to need more help. And we will continue to build this up, and we will do what we must do. And as promised, that show that was made previously was dedicated to you and to our plans that we could do in the future if given the opportunity. I also want to make our city the ideal place to show the rest of the country how to do love, to employ it and put it to work. This is how we show ourselves capable of love, being better, doing better. It's about care over mockery of a life worth living. The devil would never want you as having happy lives, beauty, balance, security, purpose, value, and sex appeal. It's not what the devil wants. Happy Healer methods will never let you down. They help all lives, and it's what inspired this message to you, Mayor. So I hope it's found you, and that you do get back to your Happy Healer, and that we can have a meeting. I will be one that I promise it will give you value and insight to something that can't do any harm. This is all good for the soul, and it empowers, and for every soul that knows its truth and that feels its truth becomes happier because they know that it's truth. That is faith, sir, and that's the kind of faith that I offer in abundance. I speak with such convictions because I know how real truths are, the truths that I speak are, and that I know we need change, and that I know that we need that change fast. So I think it'd be wise that I seek your expertise. So please get back to me by calling me at my presidential office. The phone number for HappyHealer for president, a legal registered candidate for president of the United States, and what I believe will be the ultimate nominee for our Democratic Party. So yes, anyways, right, that phone number is 407-984-5075. I will continue to reach out and share in the most important ways. After all, we are all human and we all deserve a life worth living. And for anyone who doesn't know, Val Demings is also a very important person to follow. As I said already, let's say it anyway, they're a power couple anyway, and they're very sweet. They're sweet folks, and they deserve everything they get. And I think they're wonderful for our community. And this is why your happy and humble HappyHealer is running now as a Democrat, and speaking out to the people is more in line just with the whole idea of being prepared to win. Think about it. We have a path to victory. We have been spelling this out to you and to all of our supporters over and over again. We will continue doing that. And now next, what I would like to do is I would actually like to play for you if I may, that video that I said I would. And now you might have seen this video already. I did air this once before, but we're going to tag it along to this message as well because it is a good video and it'll be the last time we air it on the live show. And we'll close it out like this for you, Mayor. You deserve the good message. You're a good mayor. And everybody in this town, really, it's just comforting having a nice man like you in charge. And I would appreciate having your support, sir. I really feel confident that I can do this thing, and that if I'm successful, sir, I get to do something so special that I'll be so grateful for. You better believe that. And that's just the beginning of it, because we'll really all get to be able to do something so special. The kinds of things that this country needs, really, where we're at, and the things we need to do, and where we came from, and just think about it. All of this stuff, it's just so true. And we are now at a precipice at a time we can actually do these things. We can atone. And that's the beautiful thing about what God has helped us. I mean, this is my view. I believe and have very strong faith, Mayor. And I think that'll also help me in getting the Republican support, and that I can actually promise the Democrats a lot of support on that side, and that I can follow through. And if you look at my support base now, you'll see that it's actually been that way for some time, and that a lot of people support me. I'm really proud of that, sir. I am so incredibly proud of that. So, having said that, let us go ahead and get this next video started. God bless you, and thank you guys for listening. Let me just step out into the camera view for a moment here, and then after this 45-minute video, which is about as long as this next video is, then we will be back, and I will have some closing remarks, and that will be the final extravaganza show. And by the way, if you can't see the magical ability of your HappyHealer for president yet, then you just might be blind, because it takes Hollywood hours and so many people in days and weeks to make a half-an-hour program. And well, Mayor, you count the time that we dedicated to this, and you answer it yourself if it looks professional. That's the kind of individual I am. I get it done. So let's get this done, and let's take care of it and do it right, because you are worthy of the message. And then we will reach out to your office next week. God bless you, God bless America, and God bless our residents, sir.
Oh my God. Glad you remarks.
Yeah.
You brought down the house.
Yes. HappyHealer for President.com. In this world, all you need to be focused with is being a lover. Think about the fundamentals. Think about the fundamentals. The fundamentals are from the building blocks of life, and I mean the smallest aspects. You've got atoms, you've got the tiniest molecules that you could ever imagine. We know that we still have so much more work to do, and that while we are failing to do it because we're too busy fighting our senseless civil war, when actually both sides and all sides of America want this future we're talking about right here, well, in the meantime, we have China who is working on precisely that technology. Should they bring in the technological singularity before America does, which we will be talking about in this campaign, then America will atone for that in ways that we are not prepared to. My fellow Americans, take that as a warning. It is the truth, and it is a humble truth. It is a holy truth, and it is the only truth. Hello, good evening. I am Keith Landy, your happy healer for President of the United States. All right, we're getting ready to go into the meeting here. This is for the Transportation Town Hall. Thank you. The final and the last one, it looks like, and the last, we saved the last, the best is for last, and that is Mayor. Thank you for showing up. I am your happy healer, Keith Landy. I'm right here in Orlando, Florida. I wanted to be last because I'm actually running for President of the United States. Thank you. And if you get a chance, go to HappyHealerForPresident.com. HappyHealerForPresident.com. And thank you, Mayor. In this world, all you need to be focused with is being a lover. It feels like everything I do is just a different way than how people are running their campaigns. So it's easier to just do this.
More relaxed now.
Yeah. And to just have those moments, and it makes me feel better. You know? Then I don't feel like I'm defying what I'm supposed to be doing. Right, yes, be sure to. Oh, I've got all my heart into it, so we're going to do something with it if we can, for sure.
I want to take a picture with you.
Definitely.
You just cut everybody like.
That's right.
Great comments were great. Okay.
Yeah, you all did a great job talking about our community.
Yeah, because it's true. They got to finish one thing, right?
That's right.
The first president.
That's right.
You shot everybody. We're like.
Thank you. God bless you. And check it out, HappyHealerForPresident.com. My name's Keith Landy, but I take my happy healer journey very seriously. When you go on the site, you'll see why. And I've got a plan, just like Senator Warren says. I don't think she has a plan for me, however, but I do have a plan, and it's a wonderful plan. And so many people like SAG-AFTRA, the Screen Actors Guild, has actually picked up my message and has sent out a tweet endorsing me, an unknown, a relative unknown out of over, like you said, 800 candidates running for president. This evening, I had a great time together with my friend Al. We went out to the meeting for transportation right here in Orlando, Florida with Mayor Demings. And we also had about 200 local Orlando folks that were there, and we were able to talk about my candidacy, for which I am so grateful for having been able to have done, because I have been working so hard, working my happy healer heart out, talking about things that are so important to our country in the future future of our people, the future of our lives, our very salvation. And it means so much to me, as I know it does to you as well. We address the actual issues that our country is facing instead of all of the discombobulation, disunity, danger, might I add, danger. This disunity, civil disunity, is causing our country to become bursting at the seams. We can't take too much of that anymore. So follow your happy healer in this campaign. Listen to the things that I am saying. Hear me out. Give me a chance.
Yes. And I've lived in Orlando for 13 years, and I would appreciate you checking out and getting more familiar with who I am.
I am. That's why I asked you your name.
Yeah, because you know what? I would love to, even if you had some time, like now's you're doing your thing.
Hi, Mayor Demings. Actually, I would love an opportunity to talk to you about our city. We're going to be talking to so many people around this country in this campaign. And one of the messages that I have for Americans is be prepared to do such hard work of lifting our own cities up. We are going to build our cities into superstructures, just like the super consumer, the American consumer will be with the landing presidency, and more importantly, the American ingenuity and the American exceptionalism unleashed. So you better believe, Mayor Demings, I'll be right here in Orange County with you, lifting folks up, lifting hearts up, lifting people up off the streets, and building our city one block at a time. And that's how we lead from the front lines with the people, showing them how it's done. And you, sir, have shown great leadership, showing example on how we can do that, how we can talk to people, and how we can bring people together based on ideas. So I look forward to doing that. And I am running as a Democrat because I believe in providing people income and providing people health care and providing people full stop all of their needs for that matter. I want to go full stop because I know we have to do it in order to achieve the new world of super consumerism, the new world of technology, the new world of our enlightenment that will lift America and her people into a new age that we have long been promised as our fathers and mothers long ago had been told that by the time we were adults, we could have the benefit of living off of technology and that we can finally,
And thank you, Mayor.
fulfill our human destiny. That is such a big deal to know that we could finally fulfill our human destiny, because unless we do that, we will never be able to deal with the biggest issues of our time that's plaguing the American spirit, such as the bigotry and the racism and the constant hell that we have to pay in this country that is ripping our fabric of America apart. So we have to be honest about what to do in order to atone that situation. I know that it will take working from the bottom up. That's why I am so serious about my candidacy. It does not matter that I come from the bottom. I have been through many perceptions within the American experience. As I told Mayor Demings, I am not your condescending candidate way up here. No, no, sir. I am your happy healer, your whole happy healer. I am your humble, happy, and whole happy healer for President of the United States. And that is because we have to be prepared to take on these issues, the American spirit being so sick. Mayor Demings, I know you know what I'm talking about. The people that they are so at each other's throats. We are in a soft civil war by any intelligent person's fair and honest assessment. And in my campaign, I make that priority number one. We have to get to a unity in order to achieve anything. And Mayor Demings, I know that you're a serious man as far as taking seriously the issues of our time in our county. So I commend you for that. And we have so much more. And don't you know, sir, that's all I plan to do as President of the United States. And I say over and over again, we all have purpose and value, and it starts from right inside. And that you're happy healer is a magical guy. I've been through so much. I don't lie about that. I am not a perfect candidate, and nor do you need to be a perfect candidate in order to serve the people at any level in this country. What you need to be is perfect of heart, virtue, and value. That's how it's done. So Mayor Demings, it was great to see you, and I'll be out and about in this town all the time, working hard, ever so hard, building this campaign. I appreciate every last bit of help I can get from all of my compatriots, everybody in this town who wants to get involved with a campaign that will make a difference. Realize this is the campaign that's bringing people together, Democrats and Republicans, independents, all Americans, so that we can actually deal with the problems in our country, and that we can actually deal with the continuity of life. Think about it, the kinds of issues we're dealing with that are fast approaching. We have to think about our families, our children, our futures. That's what I'm talking about, and that's why as running as a Democrat for president, I have, and I take pride in the fact that I have had so many conservative backers. In fact, and indeed half of my backers right now are conservatives, Trump's people. I myself voted for Donald Trump in the last election. I can hold him to account as the Democratic nominee, and I assure you I would. He failed to deliver health care to the people. My mother died, my brother died, my father died, my sister-in-law died, all of them without adequate health care, and due to severe problems brought upon the American people through the leadership of these condescending candidates that have been exercising in greed. And folks, that is the biggest thing. We have to acknowledge that greed has been a problem. That's why we in this campaign realize we have to put humanity first, and the only way to do that is to put humanity over capitalism. And so that's what we're doing, Capitalism 2.0. The only way indeed to save capitalism, I contend. So again, this was a great opportunity, Mayor Demings, to get acquainted with you, sir, and in order to get out into the community and make more friends and realize, because I know that it takes a community to get anything done, and we in this American community are capable of so much when we are the American, all of us. We are serving for this nation. When I am your president of this country, I assure you we are going to take care of the situation at hand. We can't allow greed. This problem has been infecting the soul of our people. We have to realize if we ever intend to get the magical aspects of our human spirit out and about so that we can love and be free in that love, we have to get to love, I contend, and we can. And that love is truth, and love is pure love. And I break that down in my campaign because you might think it's simple, but it's not. And it's at the heart of our problems. We have to get away from that hate everybody's exercising, away from that disunity, and towards love. And with my leadership, I know that we'll do exactly that. And I live in a magical world. And before I allow you or anybody else to pull me out of that magical world, mind you, I'm in Orlando. That's home of Disney World. You better believe the city beautiful, the city magical of Orlando, Florida, with your humble and whole Happy Healer for president, will not leave his magical world, but instead bring this country into the magical world of the Happy Healer and get our people loving. And let's move on to happier, brighter times, because, and I contend, this country needs a Happy Healer. God bless you, and God bless America. And Jerry, I'll see you soon, sir.
I'd love if you had some time to meet you, if that would be possible, because I would like to talk to you more about my plans. I'm a humble guy, and I don't have a card on me, but I gotta get a card. Let me tell you, I know I'm running for president of the United States. I don't have a card. Let me tell you. But I'm a very humble guy, Mayor. It's not about being somebody way up here. We have our condescending candidates. Yeah, that's true. We're going to need that, so we'll take care of that. But I want you to seriously take me serious. Just because I'm a humble guy and from down here, it doesn't matter. I've got the heart of gold. I've got humility. That's fine. You need all that to do anything.
From the university?
No, sir.
From high school here?
Yeah, I went to Valencia, but I was in my business as an entrepreneur. And then I came out of that and went on a spiritual journey.
What kind of business?
Transportation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm pretty good on this.
Yeah. Transportation.
I know all about transportation, the charter buses and
good.
all that good stuff.
All right, man.
Yeah, man.
I got to talk to all these people.
I'm going to reach out to you.
Next time, bring your car.
Fine, I'm going to reach out to your office, sir.
Not everything I say you're going to understand right off the bat, but I assure you that everything I say equals just right for what you want, and that it is just right for a unity that can be sustained in this country, and is just right for the growth of our families, for the future safety of our families, for our country to be prosperous, for the American dream to be true again, for the American people in the largest ways possible to deliver on the plan of love. My fellow Americans, it's time and love in action. And for anybody who's familiar with how well love solves issues, and for those people who have been experiencing God's almighty miraculous words of hope, and you know those words, then you know that doing things with greed is the reason why we're all suffering so much. But yet that if we do things for humanity, we can actually serve both the cause to people who love God Almighty, as well as the cause to people who just love life and love humanity. They want to see humanity cared for. They want to get racism taken care of and bigotry taken. They know we can do this stuff and that it's within our capacity to be able to do it. They know that. Hi, how are you? I'm Keith.
Hey, oh my God. The
Appreciate
Happy
you.
Healer. I think
I
I've
am the
seen you
Happy
on
Healer.
social media.
Yes.
You know?
I've been making a big push on social media. I'm so excited. You know, I've been in my own little Happy Healer world, but I have to come out
Did
more
you
in the
see how happy you
community.
made people?
Yeah. They're so great.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you. I don't need to be abrupt when I'm up here, but we want to, otherwise people can't get,
I loved it. I just went last. I figured that'd be great. And I could talk forever, so I have
really
to be careful to
appreciate
just,
I'm glad you edited your remarks.
Yeah.
You brought down the house.
Yes, a great way to end things on a positive. Individually, we have all been growing so much and in such powerful ways. But as a collective, we are so incredibly sick, and I contend it will take somebody from the bottom, such as your Happy Healer, who can gain the vote of confidence of his compatriots, who can fill this need at a time when America needs it most, and who can respond to this calling. That's why I'm here. So when I had a chance to stand up in front of my friends right here in Orlando, together with Mayor Demings, I felt completely compelled in the moment to do exactly that, as well as I felt welcomed by Mayor Demings. Thank you for that. And I have some great footage that I would like to share with you from this evening, and the opportunity that I had to shake Mayor Demings' hand, and that we talked about the transportation conditions in this city, and that so many of the local Orlando residents came out to talk about their opinions as to what we should do to solve this city's crises. And together we came out to discuss what we should do for this city's transportation problems. But remember, this country is having problems too, my fellow Americans. This country, my fellow Orlandoans, this country is having problems, and we need to address these issues. I'm prepared to do that as your next president. I will earn your confidence. No, I'm not a typical politician, not at all. Like, you already know what I am. I am your Happy Healer for President, Keith Landy. I come to you as a whole person, yet a humble person, in the cause of freedom and self-determination. My mission is clear. I want a happy, safe world so that my magical world is safe in it. And it just so happens all of our worlds will be safe in it, and we'll all be better off for it because we get to grow as a people. It has been so long since our last spiritual awakening, our age of enlightenment that happened several hundred years ago, and was the culmination of which resulted in our current industrial revolution that led to the technological revolution we are going through now. And yet we are so far from the promise that we were given then. We know that we still have so much more work to do, and that while we are failing to do it because we're too busy fighting our senseless civil war, when actually both sides and all sides of America want this future we're talking about right here, well, in the meantime, we have China, who is working on precisely that technology. Should they ring in the technological singularity before America does, which we will be talking about in this campaign, then America will atone for that in ways that we are not prepared to. My fellow Americans, take that as a warning. It is the truth, and it is a humble truth. It is a holy truth, and it is the only truth. Because we are busy fighting with each other in a discombobulated state, disunity and incivility. We are losing our minds. Insanity is taking over our people, and it's time to step back. That's why I contend as your Happy Healer for President, I am prepared to do exactly that. Mayor Demings, thank you for giving me your time today, sir. It is an honor and pleasure and distinct privilege to have been able to meet you and shake your hand. I intend on leading, should I have the distinct pleasure and privilege as president, right here from Orlando, Florida, doing the hard work just like all Americans would need to do in order to build this country up, in order to build our families up, and in order to institute the great policies of the new age, of the new world in America, starting right here that we build. And in this magical city of Orlando, let it be the starting place, together with your Happy Healer for President. And Mayor Demings, your story's in that too, sir, because you're right here in Orlando, and I appreciate you being nice to me today. And I'll be reaching out to more people, and I'll ask for your kindness as well. And you'll always have my love, honesty, and I'll always be an honest broker of truth. I am not a perfect candidate. I never came to you as being perfect. I never promised perfection. And instead I said I love, and I am proud of my love candidate, and I know that that will fix all of our issues, and that instead love together with honesty is all we should ever expect of a candidate, because when we expect and demand perfection, all we ever get is so far from it, and because we're living in a greedy world, greed corrupts. What we get are the best liars. So, you ask for perfection, my fellow Americans, and what you ended up with was a perfect liar. I say, let's put the past behind us. Let's move on to a bright new Happy Healer magical from Orlando future, and let's get on the boat to prosperity, the kind that we can all be so proud of. Love together in, and do together in, and prosper together in, and we shall all deal with and atone to America's greatest disaster it has ever faced. All of them virtually coming in the next 10 years. And I contend there's at least on 10 different fronts disasters ranging from nuclear proliferation to China and their technological revolution, while we fight a civil war, which also happens to be another one. We have global warming. We have, and this list just continues to go on, and I'm sure you can add many of your own. So I will leave you with this. Realize our times count on serious people, not politics. Real answers. Real honest brokers of truth that can say to you, listen to the truth coming out of my mouth. Is that the truth that you see? Good. Confirmed. Because it's also the truth I see. And if we don't do something about it, we are getting ready to lose our very way of lives. So, we're very serious about that task ahead. And I, Keith Lane, as your Happy Healer for President, have the charge to keep. And I intend to keep that charge. Thank you, good night, and God bless you. Mayor Demings, we'll see you soon.
Because in all honesty, I mean, if we went to 4 lanes, why can't we have 2 turning lanes at one point instead of keeping us at the same spot? And that's all. I thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Comment tonight.
The final and the last one, it looks like in the last, we say the last, the best is for last, and that is Mayor. Thank you for showing up. I am your Happy Healer, Keith Landy. I'm right here in Orlando, Florida. I wanted to be last because I'm actually running for President of the United States. And so, thank you. And if you get a chance, go to HappyHealerForPresident.com. HappyHealerForPresident.com. And thank you, Mayor. Things on yours, different options, but you have. I like the Mavic one more when you're down. I like it. It's pretty cool. 30 minutes is what they say. So, sorry. So now it should be. And what it'll do, it's changing altitude. So, like, let's say I walk around here. I shouldn't go in this guy's yard. I'm just trying to like go around a tree so it can show you. It's flying itself. This is AI in the year 2019, guys. Isn't that impressive? No, that's something that the Mavic 1 don't do. So, I mean, how much skill do you need when it can fly itself? And it can do it backwards, too. And it watches itself. It's not going to hit something too much. I mean, it's pretty good. Oh, and while it's flying, it keeps you center frame. So, you know, let's say you're just making a movie or, you know, you can't always be, sometimes you're the one that's in the movie, so you can't be flying. So, you know, maybe you can hand this off to a friend or put it down. Oh, and it varies. It can go back a bit further. Like, I brought it in so that it would follow me close distance in between obstacles. But you can active track for that. You know? I mean, I've always been into the passion part of it. And, like, I could sit here and just on demand do things these guys with the licenses, they can't do. I have the Zoom, but no, this is not that one. Yeah, they sell the camera separate too now. Well, you can get the camera separate. The camera comes off and you can get insurance for $70 through State Farm. Yeah, because it gives you peace of mind when you're learning to fly, you know, so you can have the confidence to do, like, you know, cool stuff and get the shots you want, you know. Plus, too, the sunsets and the horizon is so amazing. And I could fly, I mean, like, you see, yeah, you have to kind of get good for doing manual orbits. Yeah. And then we got, and it's always good to have a spotter too. Because you never know what kind of trouble you can get yourself really into without somebody that kind of can help you see what's going on. Yeah. But
and I've never,
like,
when we're
actually,
I just live a fucking fun life, you know?
What do you edit?
yeah, I edit on Final Cut Pro. Yeah, I like Premiere too, but Premiere's just a bit.
I started on Final Cut 7.
Final Cut's just a simpler program, and Apple's a little bit easier to deal with. Yeah, I mean PC's awesome, but you know, so we'll just go between these two trees right here. And I like getting low to the ground too sometimes. Shot, and then you can just kind of take it up.
I'm actually a DP.
Okay, what's
cool.
that? Oh, do you really? I want to get more in. Like, well, I already do the art and stuff, but I want to, like, literally, I'm so creative. I'm running for president out of my creativity, but also it's a real thing. It's a very real thing. I might actually become our next president. It's pretty cool. I mean, shit, I don't leave it to any one thing. I just enjoy life and do the things that I feel like doing. That's all. I think that's the way we should all do. When it gets down to it, the brass tacks of things, we all pretty much want the same shit, you know? There's something, like, beautiful in the honesty of that, you know? Yeah. And I'll do the same thing right around us. That's how nice art would be, right? It's transitioning smoothly. That's what I'm serious about, is that art.
Do I have a light on the bottom of that?
Yeah.
Did you put it on there, or
It comes with it. Yeah. And you could
put a light on mine? Just the wind kept pushing it back.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't. Same day it started.
Oh, I put mine up in a hurricane once. I almost lost mine. See, the thing about it is there's like about 4 or 5 things that happens with drones, because you're not actually in the drone, and you could lose your connection, or like there's little things.
If you lose the connection on this one, you still control it.
Yeah.
But the Phantom, when that happened to me, you don't see anything, you lose everything.
Yeah, and this has some pretty good AI to it as well. AI is going through the roof. Yeah. Yeah, I don't do it a whole lot. Yeah, like, and you don't really know. Plus, too, I'm not sure. Like, China's doing really good with the creativity of their products, but, and it's a big but. It's China, and they want to like get all your records and stuff. Oh, now I got on sport mode, so we'll come burning through hot. We'll come through burning hot right between those trees again. Ah! Hey, baby. You know, somebody's asked me, what advice can you give a 22-year-old guy who's working in this world, he just wants to be able to get a life going that he can enjoy? He's a young guy, and in this world, this greedy world. What about for him? Because often he's the guy that's really most under attack in these ways. Greed presses on a man, and it changes him in a way that makes him more aggressive towards greed. He feels he has the need, and it's justified in order to provide for his family. That greed is the only way to get that done. It's a psychological condition that greed has on the hold of men. Women too. However, women are also nurturers of life. However, that women are also nurturers of life means then that they are willing to go further in the process of life than men often are. They have that patience, which is always a virtue. They exercise that virtuous patience. Often when men do not, men are so impatient when it comes to certain things that makes women almost not just the nurturers by nature, but seemingly the nurturers by nature, mothers, women. The only option for nurture. And so this greed really makes it like that, doesn't it? Because we know that men can be sweethearts too. and that the best kind of man who has grown up to learn how to be a man, and I often say I'm a boy. Well, that's because I'm in touch with my childhood. And the best kind of men, I'm a 40-year-old man. Think about that. I'm getting younger as all these other men are getting older. The best kind of man is in touch with his childhood and all of his emotions. He can deal with things, and he can do them right, and he can have a moral compass about how he does that. Instead, the way they do men these days is it's about fake toughness and very real greedy following. They make men followers, and that's what about being a man is in 2019, and that's sad. Masculinity has never been the thing that needs to be under attack. It's greed. Masculinity gives our women something to crave in men and gay men, and it gives us the balance we need. Greed, on the other hand, gave us bigotry and racism and hell and no fun and so much pain and hell to pay, where love gives us understanding. It gives us knowledge. It makes us better. It makes us better. And that's so grand. Because when we become better, then we learn and we become progressive. And so in this campaign, I am your most progressive candidate. I bring God on for the trip. Trust me, progressives, in the future you love God, and that we all have that freedom was built into our country and its founding, so let's not get scared about that. And that we all love life, and in this campaign, we have the ability to bring together Americans who they love God and they love life, and now they love each other in this campaign. And we get away from the incivility, the disunity, and the soft civil war that is our discombobulated population in hateful action and greed. We have a soft civil war. We have to address that. I will, as your next president. I promise you that. Because if I don't, we will have more hell to pay. And we have already paid enough. So I shall take care of that. And one thing is, as you know, some of you who have been paying attention to the HappyHealer evolution, thank you. I love you, and I care about you too. Well, we have this week went to go see Jerry Demings. He is the mayor of Orange County, and I live in Orange County, and I also am right next to the city of Orlando. I am basically in the city geographically, I am basically in this city. And the way they have it all written, it just puts me in the county. So, that's where I'm at. And Mayor Demings was amazing. I appreciated seeing him on Monday evening. And I'm sharing that with you. You'll like that. And it was a good opportunity to talk about things that are happening in our country and to bring people, ordinary citizens, together with the representatives and the government that represents them in even their own home cities. We have a lot of work to do. We have to get used to doing that kind of stuff. And so I loved it. And the next program that'll be coming out is actually on Mayor Demings. I'm feeling really good about the campaign. I really think we're going to get to be able to do this special thing called running for president, and to do it in a noble and pure way and to serve the people. That's such an amazing thing. I'm having so much fun knowing that we have real answers that'll solve problems for real people. My goodness, that's a great thing to know. And I look forward to seeing you out on the campaign trail. Get involved. Help, please. We need it. Help your Happy Healer wherever you can. Help your Happy Healer. Make me your man, even though I'm a boy. But guess what? In order to be a man, you have to keep your boyhood and childhood about you, or your girlhood, because children know how to love, and they don't do judgment and hate the way that adults have learned to do with that greed. Children exercise a very innocent kind of jealousy. You know, love and hate is so thin, the line between them, we know that. We often get confused by that because the very nature of greed is to confuse us. Remember, that's the power of the devil. And the deception is the very makeup of how the devil wins. You know that if the devil is winning, and you can see around in our world it seems to be the devil is winning, well then you know that for him to win, his tools he uses, the greatest one of all is deception. That is why God is love and truth. That is why in this campaign we are the essence of God, love, and the essence of God, truth. And that, my fellow Americans, is why we bring Trump's people who love God, together with people who just love life. It's how we unite our country. It's how we're so confident in saying we have Trump's people. And also because in our campaign, the small representative we've been running for 5 months shows the larger truth, which is that if we were a national candidate, it would be the same way like it is now. We would have half of our people being Trump's people, because that is who is and are Americans, and they are with us in this campaign. And I'm happy to know that. God bless you all. You should also be happy to know that, and I believe and think you are. We shall do such amazing and special things together. That is why this is so fun, and I will continue having fun on this because I know that it answers and atones to the greatest hell that the American people, and for that matter all people, have been dealing with because of the greed, the devil of the greed that it just is. You don't even have to look at it in a religious way. It's as factual as science is. We see its ugly tentacles all over everything, including science and including our healthcare, which is not healthcare, it's greed care. And so we will win this battle with light, with luminosity, and with love. I'll see you soon. Your Happy Healer for President. Get over to www.happyhealerforpresident.com. Our time is of the essence because the essence of time is now. Let's get to work. God bless you, and God bless your families too.
Good afternoon, Mayor. Once again, it is Keith Landy, your healer for President of the United States. I am so eager to work for our country, doing the things that I know we all deserve, Mayor. And what I'm quite eager to do is to win this election, to show the American people that I am the best choice for our future, but that by choosing me, we're choosing ourselves, and we're choosing love, and we're choosing clarity, and we're choosing a vision. And that vision includes, sir, getting our country up to a new level of prosperity, including each and every city taking on a new measure of hope, civility, institutionalized learning, so much work getting done from the ground up. And I intend to be working that stuff right here in Orlando, sir, because each person is needed in their home city. In addition to my own responsibilities in Orlando as President of the United States, I will set the standard, sir, and I look forward to working with you to do great things in our city. And I hope and wish and pray to our God Almighty that I have the exact opportunity to do that with you, sir, and that is precisely what we will do together for our magical Orlando, Florida, and that is hope and a future that we can all get excited about. Mayor, it was great talking to you. It was my first time to get to meet you, despite having you as my sheriff for so long. I can't say why fate is acting the way it acts, but it puts us on a path together. at this moment in time, where as a citizen of your county, sir, we love Orange County. Orlando, beautiful. Your city, sir. It's my city. Indeed, it's our city. We love Orlando, Florida. We love our home, sir. I get that, and we just want to make it the best we possibly can. And I want to empower Orlando to be its best from a federal level, together with all of our territory in the United States of America, to enact an agenda that is not only just self-sustenance, but that too, because we have to take care of humanity, but also an agenda that fixes our country, our infrastructure, to grow into a new future. We were talking the other day about Hurricane Dorian that was coming fast to our city. Of course, we prayed that baby away, but the reality of it is we can do so much better being prepared for things like hurricanes and weatherproofing the system better and using technology in ways that right now we are not doing, and we are not budgeting for it, and we are not accounting for it, and we are not pushing for it, we are not hoping for it, and it's not going to do itself. And in the meantime, we're fighting and expending all of our energy on a pointless civil war that gets us nowhere, sir. And that's why I am running. And unfortunately, I did not have a chance to tell you that in person, given your busy schedule. And I intend to keep my schedule the exact same way. So I admire that. And I only hope, though, however, that we get a chance to get together in short order to talk about some of these things and so many more for our great city, sir. I would love to give you great ideas just for our home and for your job. And that's an honor and a privilege and a pleasure of mine. If you would allow me that opportunity, we can do that, and we could be better off for it. And in this country, sir, I am going to continue putting my best foot forward. I'm going to make the case to the American people. I'm going to make the case to the people right here in Orlando, Florida. And I will not stop making that case, Mayor, because the problems, again. So again, thank you, Mayor. Thank you for speaking out to your citizens, allowing us the voice in our own communities to speak out about the issues important to our families, our lives. Thank you for speaking to me in person, and let's build on that, please. I'm not giving up. I am living a life worth living. I am living for our future and for hope, and to inspire young people and to inspire older people too. We can all be inspired, sir. There is so much opportunity for us to get along and show love and show a way to the top of society in a loving way. We can all be top society. We can all matter. We can all have purpose and value to our core. And that's exactly the kind of president I would be. I would be the commander-in-chief, sure, but I would also be your inspire-in-chief, your happy healer for president. And that would be my greatest role and honor and privilege and charge to keep, because the people need that. They need a happy healer who has clarity and who has a vision forward, who can not just possess calm and pizzazz, but can inspire calm and inspire confidence, the confidence that we lack now. And so as your next president, sir, I plan to do all of that and so much more. And I come in confident because I see the other candidates, and I ask myself, Mayor, and I am seriously wondering, which one of these candidates offer us a peaceful future? One where we are not at war with ourselves? This is a major question, considering we are already in a soft civil war by most smart people's accounts. So my question to you too, Mayor, is do you think we are in a soft civil war? A. And B, what ought we do about it? What ought we do about that, sir? That we are in a soft civil war? Should we vote in candidates that are talking about continuing on that kind of hostility? Not having a plan that's reasonable and realistic to bring people together in order to promote our lives, the sustenance, the continuity of life itself in our country, the American way, our culture, our love, our children, even our parents. We could do so much to move so fast. And that, Mayor, is why I am in this race. It's why I came to see you tonight. So, Mayor, as I shook your hand, pondered upon me, you seem to be a great guy for Orange County. I am proud to have you as our mayor. I am proud to have voted for you as our mayor. I am proud to have had you as our sheriff. And I will continue to be proud as I work with you as our president and resident of Orange County, Florida, and this great United States of America. And I intend to forge with you, sir, a partnership bonded in love for our country, our people, and our way of life. We, sir, can do it. We can show them how it's done right here in Orange County. I look forward to becoming the next president and doing my part at my hometown too, because we all have so much work to do, all of our own hometowns, to lift this country to new heights in ways that will affect every soul, because everybody matters. In the America that your happy healer will be the president, given God's mercy upon the people of our country needing these changes so bad, coupled with the opportunity coming together with the historical times we are in. I'm confident, sir, I have the right answers for our future. There is nobody in this race that is more qualified than me, Keith Landy, for president of the United States, your happy healer, in recognizing and realizing that this country needs a happy healer. You know this when families are at each other's throats over politics, and when we have our own homegrown white nationalist terrorism, we know we then therefore we need a happy healer. Let's fix our spirit and raise our country to new heights. Let's change this place we call home. Let's make it our home that we can all be proud of. Thank you, Mayor. I'm so excited to have met you. I will be reaching out to your office. God bless you. God bless all Orlandoans. And may we all have a very safe, wholesome, and productive morning and afternoon as so far as your Wednesday work day goes. And then nothing to mention thereafter your little bit of family time left you spend with your family. In the new world, we will have a system that puts humanity first above capitalism. We shall take care of humanity. Humanity will have the time to spend time together with one another in their families. We will build and sustain an economy that can support a 21st century super consumer. That will be the representation of humanity in America. That's what American exceptionalism will look like repaid in the 21st century. And that is what a happy healer presidency will look like. No more civil war. Unity with one nation being under our creator, God Almighty. Working for a future sustainable for one country to live in peace and love so as to exercise its self-determination to do exactly that in freedom. And unless we get away from this civil war and what I like to call our freedom warfare and hateful insanity we see everywhere, we better therefore work every day between now and the election to make your happy healer the next president of the United States, so that we can atone these conditions for the American people and we can serve this middle class. We can bring so many people together in unity. We can put humanity over capitalism, and capitalism 2.0, we will get each American family, as I have always said, $5,000 for a family of 4, or for head of households, we'll have an accounting of $2,500. People deserve to have a life worth living in the richest country in the world. We will make that possible, and we will also make it possible to have your time so that what American exceptionalism looks like repaid is clear in a Landy presidency. Go and make them spank their behinds.
That's why the evil people is trying to get God people to come on their side so they can overpower God people.
That's right, you know? Yeah, that's the battle that's going on right now. And right now, it appears that the evil ones are winning, but they're not, because the love is so strong. When it takes off, it doesn't need but 1 ounce the energy compared to 1,000,000 pounds of hate. The love wins. The love is a self-feedback force loop. It makes everybody matter and have purpose and value. And that is something greed will never be able to do in an organization. This country becomes a loving organization. You know that's what I'm building, right, Albert? It's not enough to say, oh, we need love and we need to solve racism, let's have more laws. No, we need to change as human beings. And you know that I'm bringing this country on a loving agenda, on a loving journey, on a loving solution to the hell that we have built, to the greed that we have accepted. We will all change, we will all atone, and we will all have so much more because of it. Not just will we end up with all of those greedy ones who felt they had to steal using greed to have nice things, a nice home, provide for their family. They'll have in the loving world twice as much as what they have now. Except for because they stole it, they're the only ones with it now. And that's why I get so angry at them, because they're stealing so much from themselves and from everyone else too. Them greedy bastards. Okay, welcome back.
I think I've seen you on social media. Brought down the house.
this road, all you need to be focused with is being a lover. Think about the fundamentals. Think about those fundamentals.
Think about the fundamentals.
I'm telling you.
The fundamentals are from the building blocks of life,
yes.
and I mean the smallest aspects. You've got atoms, you've got the tiniest molecules that you could ever imagine. We know that we still have so much more work to do, and that while we are failing to do it because we're too busy fighting our senseless civil war, when actually both sides and all sides of America.
Okay, folks, what I really think is a great thing I want to show right now.
We have China who is working on precisely that technology. Should they bring in the technological singularity before America does, which
between Mayor Pete and me,
then America will atone for that in ways that we are not prepared.
And so that's what we're going to go ahead and do. And welcome.
Presidential debate from the Arts Center in Miami.
As we continue the questioning, we want to bring in more members of our team.
So let's turn it over to Chuck Todd and Rachel Maddow.
Well, Rachel, I had a dream that we've done this before.
No.
This
is
didn't happen.
The first time.
Definitely first time. Thank you, Lester, Savannah, and Jose. Let's quickly recap the rules one more time. 20 candidates qualified for this first debate. We've heard from 10 of them from last night. We're hearing from 10 more tonight. Breakdown for each night was selected at random. Candidates will have 60 seconds to answer direct questions, 30 seconds for follow-ups, if necessary.
Because of this large field of candidates, not every person will be able to comment on everything, but the less audience reaction there is, the more time they will all get. Over the course of the next hour, we will hear from all of these candidates, but we are going to begin this hour with Mayor Buttigieg. In the last 5 years, civil rights activists in our country have led a national debate over race
over an
and the criminal justice
shooting.
system. Your community of South Bend, Indiana, has recently been in uproar over an officer-involved shooting.
The police force in South Bend is now 6% black in a city that is 26% black. Why has that not improved over your 2 terms as mayor?
Because I couldn't get it done. My community is in anguish right now because of an officer-involved shooting. A black man, Eric Logan, killed by a white officer. And I'm not allowed to take sides until the investigation comes back. The officer said he was attacked with a knife, but he didn't have his body camera on. It's a mess, and we're hurting. And I could walk you through all of the things that we have done as a community, all of the steps that we took from bias training to de-escalation, but it didn't save the life of Eric Logan. And when I look into his mother's eyes, I have to face the fact that nothing that I say will bring him back. This is an issue that is facing our community and so many communities around the country. And until we move policing out from the shadow of systemic racism, whatever this particular incident teaches us, we will be left with the bigger problem of the fact that there's a wall of mistrust put up one racist act at a time, not just from what's happened in the past, but from what's happening around the country in the present. It threatens the well-being of every community. And I am determined to bring about a day when a white person driving a vehicle and a black person driving a vehicle, when they see a police officer approaching, feels the exact same thing, a feeling not of fear, but of safety. I am determined to bring that day about.
Thank you.
No, excuse me. No, Mayor Pete.
Thank you, Mr.
I'm not like that. Mayor Pete, this is a time for leadership. You failed to take leadership in your own city. Sir, you've done it in your city. I don't think the American people should. Sir, you have done it in your own city. I don't think you should allow him to take care of our policing, nor is he capable of taking care of our people. He has let us down. He has failed over and over again. And quite frankly, you want to know what he's good at? He is great at showing the American people that no matter how privileged you are, it doesn't make you a better candidate for the presidency of the United States of America. No, sir. What works
is having the preparation, having the leadership skills, knowing that that leadership skills and preparation and love, coupled with humanity and the necessity to get things right in our time, demands of us to be honest and to say the truth. And the day you look just a moment ago, I'm not done.
You're a disgrace, Mayor. That's what you are. You say you can't handle the situation in your own city because you are the mayor and you can't take sides. Well, it takes leadership to be able to talk to people, and you lack that leadership. That's the problem, Mayor. You don't have a single strong bone in your body, and that's why you failed when the moment to lead came. You failed, and now you want America to give you that same moment? I think not. Over the HappyHealer's dead body, sir. You failed to have leadership, and now you want to say that you couldn't do it because you were mayor. That is a cop-out, and I'm calling a cop-out when I see a cop-out, and you, sir, are a cop-out, and we're just going to call you the way we see it. You're not Mayor Buttigieg or Geg or whatever you want to call yourself. You're not even Mayor Pete. You're Mayor Gay Boy. Let's face it, that's why they're chasing you. That's why they're supporting you, Mayor.
You punk! You stinking punk! How dare you do that to me? I'm so much more the man than you will ever be. I will duplicate. I will annihilate. With ideas you never heard of! Get out! Further, I'm not finished. Further, and moderator, just a moment. I'm not finished. Just a moment. Further. Folks, the moral of the story here is elect people who care about you. Okay, folks, I'm your happy healer, Keith Landy. Welcome back to the program. It is great to have you here. We are going to be closing out the program. I just had some closing remarks to make. These are more free, just sort of end-of-night remarks, just to talk about what's important. And we've been making this drive and push now for 3 months. The work, it never ends. It just keeps going. And that's what being president is. There is so much work to this. You didn't tell me that when I first got started, let me tell you. But it's okay. I sure did expect to have to do my fair share at work. That's no lie. That's no lie. And I think we had a fantabulous show, and each time we're just going to continue getting better. We're going to be continuing to reach out, speaking to the people in this city. We're going to be going to Iowa. We're going to be showing that we are a serious candidacy. Mayor, don't take this candidacy as a joke. Otherwise, you're not taking into account for something very important, sir. The Happy Healer heart, sir. And it's powerful. It's so powerful. When you do things for the right reasons, you stay doing them. I have been doing this now for 5 months, and I am happier now than ever before. I am doing the right thing. I sleep well at night. If I have the great fortune of becoming our 46th President of the United States, I assure you I will sleep well then too, because we are doing the right things for this country. I would not even run unless that were the case, unless I knew I had value to offer to my compatriots, my fellow Americans. I know that in this time when we lack that which we need the most, serious leadership and love, that when you're happy healer, that's me, Keith Landy, right from Orlando, Florida, steps up and steps out and says, Mayor Demings, I'm ready to serve, sir. I'm ready to serve. I was born ready to serve, sir. I am honestly ready to serve, and in every sense of the word, I am ready to serve because I know that our lives, the continuity of life itself, counts on all of our service. We all need to be ready to serve, and that's the kind of presidency I will be conducting, is one asking our citizens, let's all step up and serve the greater cause of good for mankind in our time, for the love that we know we each need, and that we serve to that cause, that we do everything in our power to serve, to bringing up the man in our lives, the woman in our lives, the child, so that we can experience joy and happiness, that we make it, and that it comes from a life worth living, and acknowledging the truth and the power of that truth, and coupled with love is God Almighty, knowing that. You have to know that. I contend you ought know that if you don't. And here's the thing. We are under attack right now. The amount of disinformation that we are dealing with is unprecedented, my fellow Americans. And if we don't take that seriously as a grave threat, as in something that can take our freedoms, as in something that can take our very way of life, then we are not giving it the due credit it deserves. It is a threat beyond measure. We need to be focused on it collectively together, focused, driven, and we need to be honest about the problems we face, and that is what I'll be doing as your happy healer. I'll be calling upon the honest broker of truth in each of us and saying we have serious problems to contend with. And Mayor, I need your help, sir. I need your help, sir. I am not shy in saying that because we all need each other's help. And trust me, you need your happy healer's help because we lack the value, we lack the purpose, we lack the drive. We lack the very core principle vision that it takes to do anything special. And that is what your happy healer offers, is a way forward, and the clarity, and the warmth, and the understanding. It's not easy, given in a world like we have today, to get these devils tamed, but I assure you, your happy healer is a devil tamer. I am a devil tamer. I am a proud devil tamer. We better tame that devil soon, because that greed is killing our way of life. We better get serious about that. We better get honest about that. We better get humble about that, or we will pay in ways we never intended to pay. My greedy POS neighbors who have done hell upon all of us, like you know who you are, Mr. Paulson. Mayor Demings, have you heard of this guy? And you know, Mr. Paulson, it's good that we're offering an age of redemption for folks like you, sir. That greed was most awful to you. Let me tell you, we are actually working on this dream, and one of the reasons why I'm not already your people's candidate, already now giving his life towards love and towards the answers that nobody else is talking about, is also, and we've talked about it in this program already, Mayor, and that is that we're in a contract to sell this home, the home my mother died in, the home that on the wall just right over there, it says, "I love you, Mom." That home. That we are going full-fledged, that I realize the continuity of life is so much more important than a home that can be replaced. Even though I love my home, Mayor, help me get up there. Maybe we can do something so special together, Mayor, and that we can really answer to the core of the human being. And I know how difficult it would be for you to mount such a run, given your place and the securities by which you run your life. And it's hard for many of us to take this kind of plunge, but I have had the courage to do just that, sir. I too have the politics in my life, and I have the areas that makes it more difficult to say the truths that I have to say, to acknowledge, to be better, and yet I do it. I do it in courage. I do it because I know it's right. That's why I do it. And I know that when we see people like Neil Paulson, who steps up and recently shows himself to cause hell upon other people, that's not helping the situation. These are what you call bottom feeders. They are legal. I say legal, but they are legal, but they are still causing victims. So their victimhood with a smile is what I call it, legal victimhood. And we have to acknowledge this exists. I'm helping my friend Al, who comes in off the streets, living here. You see people, they go through so much, and the problems they face are just so real. And then you see someone like Neil, who does so much more worse when you account for the fact that just recently he was in the news for $21.4 million, Mayor. $21.4 million against veterans. I mean, how do you say that to somebody? And next week he'll be in court with me. I'm still trying to get this situation with my house dealt with. You better believe it. You better believe it. And so this is something very serious to me, Mayor. And let me tell you, this guy, he'll be just next Tuesday, right in the same courtroom, and I'll know more then. I'll know if I can move on and get this campaign on to Iowa and keep moving the message forward and planning and getting my campaign manager and speaking with people that can help and assist and moving this campaign forward. I am ready, and I want to do that. And I'm running a loving campaign. I know that's the kind of campaign that'll be able to resolve the issues we are facing. So even for people like Neil, he can rest assured that we acknowledge the hell that's been dealt out upon the American people, even though he was part of it, even though he's blocking it now in whatever way he can. It's unfortunate. And I live my life in a bubble, and I have so much, I say that, in a spotlight more or less, not in a bubble, in a spotlight. I'm open. A bubble would to be indicating that you're not open. I am open, and I live my life, quite frankly, in that open, and I am here in the open to speak to anybody that wants to help resolve these issues we talk about. Get involved, to donate your time, effort, your ingenuity, your money. And that is the way we can change this situation and get love to get back into really for the first time, to control things. And let me tell you, this is a powerful force we're talking about. I have to tell you folks, we have to be really humble about this. This is a very powerful force we're talking about unlocking. When we get to a loving system, when we do things with love, it's so much more powerful than greed. And that love is what you're allowed to have, the more civility that you have. That's what we all wanted to do. That is what our self-determination from the deepest depths most wants to do. And so if we get the love, we have to really put that to work. That's going to be an amazing thing for each and every one of us. And we can't miss that opportunity. And that's the kind of opportunity that we have now. Now, snapshot. The alternative is we do not do that, and we have Donald Trump, or we have one of those other condescending Democratic candidates that are not your happy healer, that are not working to bring the loving system in, that continues to prop up greed, that can never take care of things that are really serious issues that we've all felt the need to handle, that is tearing apart our country, like racism and bigotry and the homegrown terrorism. People can't feel safe. And the commander-in-chief that wins in hate. No. We need to put the antidote to that up, I contend, and that is love. You put the antidote to that up, somebody who voted for Trump, who listened, who heard when the promise was made that we would have health care for all, that he would do that even if it cost him votes, yet and then he failed to do it. And what else failed is the health on many of our people who matter, who have purpose and value. I get my conservative brothers, and I say, I get you when you say you don't want to see God's consciousness from the womb to get aborted, and I agree, but that's really sad. I agree, and that's what I say. But then I also say, where the hell are your morals when then after that child is born and is on the streets and dying with no health care, no way to survive, and you say that's okay, and you say it's okay because of greed? I think not. So we're going to go full stop, and we're going to do humanity the right way, and we are going to even, I have a plan there, a great way to take care of this situation with abortion. Personally, I'm against it, but the liberal need not be worried. The reason why is because I'm not touching it. Right now, we don't live in a system where humanity matters more than money. Money matters more, that greed matters more than humanity, and it's shown when people die on the streets, and it's our loving people who die first. People who don't want to organize in the greed, they want to organize in love. Their conscience isn't so clean and clear when it comes to doing that greed and hell, and they don't like seeing the death, and it's not so easy for them to just step on people. And it's really hard, and it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. That's the way the greed is. That's what people are seeing, and they're so fed up with it, and it's not necessary in today's world. It's barbaric. It's wrong, and it's not God's way. That's why even I myself so capable. Oh, why am I worried? Some people say to me, some of my friends who think their essence is their money, they say to me, why am I so worried? I've got the ability. Look at all my talents. Just go take them and go out and make a fortune, they say. And I say, the hell with that. That serves no human purpose or value. My love matters so much more. You see people put all their stock and stake and money, and then they get enrun, and then they kill themselves. That would never happen to your happy healer, because he loves and puts stake in human value and God and purpose in this lifetime, the faith that we serve to love. And that indeed is behind the story of how I became your happy healer, because I do love, and because I've also been through opiate addiction hell dealt upon me by this system of greed. They had greed care. They didn't have health care. They just had greed care. It didn't matter that I was on the fast track and young. I would have been your president, apparently one way or the other, because fate had it out, because I had that talent. But yet I was held back by the mere conditions of my birthright not being in the chosen. You know, that class warfare, those two Americas that we see is also real. We have to get away from that, and we have to make sure people are taken care of. The only way to do that is to take humanity and put it above capitalism, to say, you dirty rascal capitalism, you got us through this barbaric situation. That's what it was. And we became better. We learned. We've taken our time, but we have got to get to the work of this human enlightenment. If we do not get to this work, then we all fail together. How beautiful. God's plan, not mine. And apparently the rest of you see this too, even those of you who choose to be blind for the most part. And you don't have that luxury much longer, don't you? Because look at how many of those travesties are right on the front door. Everything from global warming, yes, oh yes. And then you have nuclear proliferation, there you go. You have Russia and whatever crisis can emerge from there. And recently you also have North Korea, and you have, Iran. They're now a big threat. And there's anything that can kind of come from that situation at any point. I mean, these crises just keep going on. Now here's the biggest one. Are you ready? We have our civil war. That's right. The one between ourselves. And no candidate, you tell me which one of these candidates, Mayor, you're a smart guy. My first question to you when I see you, sir, next week, hopefully, is which one of these candidates that are currently running for president offers us a way out of our civil war? Which one? I want you to think long and hard about that, sir. And I want you to look at all the young people in our environment and around us who we owe to have a future and a life worth living. I want you to look at them, and I want you to answer me which one of these candidates offers us a life worth living by way of unity. Which one? In love. I'll help you. None of them do. And neither does Trump. Trump wins in hate. We all know that. And that we've tried to equal his hate, and well, they just look like they're going to lose to him, and they will lose miserably is the truth, and then they crush our dream on top of it, and that Trump continues to win with the power of literally the devil, in my view. It doesn't get any better than that. Because God is truth and love, and on the opposite you have hate and lies, and that is exactly what Trump does. He hates. Unless you love him, he don't love you back, and then he lies, and he does it all day. It's no problem. He makes his own world and truth up, and the left is doing the same thing. They need to kind of pull back from that, and the best way we can get and bring those people on board with us is to put your happy, whole, and humble Happy Healer as your Democratic nominee for President of the United States, that we can bring Trump's people on over, because we know that they love God too, and that they love common sense, and that they want to see the best for our people. They're not even against all the stuff that we talk about, healthcare and the different things. It's always just the way it's been framed. I guarantee you on that. I guarantee you. So you come with your Happy Healer on this journey, my fellow Democrats. I mean you most progressive Democrats, the ones who want an income for all. We're doing $5,000 a month, and we're doing $2,500 a month for head of households who are single. I'm saying to you, you most progressive Democrats, we're doing health care for all. That includes dental and vision. I'm saying to you, you most progressive Democrats, we're going the distance, and we're going to do an education for all, and work on eliminating all of that college debt, and continue to teach and to invest in the human being. And institutionalized learning will become a thing that we do, and start young and not stop, and continue to learn into our older age, because that is what an enlightenment looks like in a modern age. We have to learn about the necessity of life, and the things that we don't value, that we have to value, that have purpose, and that we have to learn, and that people crave that. And that's the great gift of our time through technology, is we are afforded that ability. We don't have to spend, like these crazy politicians do, billions and trillions of dollars in offsetting, get this, companies who would not otherwise hire to hire. They're using taxpayer money funded, giving it to these companies to give you a job. Why don't they just give you the money directly? That doesn't even make sense. And they want to open more factories, more human factories. No, we need more robotic factories. We need to be looking into God's future, the one that we're not having faith in. We need to start having faith. And that's the future that we're missing out on. China's working towards it. If we lose our future to China, and it's all happening fast, I contend, this technological future will be here fast. Whether we do it or not, China's on board. So we're in a race, whether we like it or not. We have 5 to 10 years to atone to that. That's what makes your Happy Healer's presidency, coupled with all of the other crises. Because when we do bring in that future technological age, and we bring it here now, and we have people serving to their passions, and we've put humanity above capitalism, then we can deal with all of the other crises through our new technical abilities, through our strength, and that's how we create a new value in humanity. That's how we serve to the future. That's how we grow. That's what I plan on doing, Mayor. So get on board to this campaign, help me, and let's do this together. I will reach out to your office next week. It is Friday evening. It's past midnight. This show has been going on now for just a bit over 2 hours, and I am not a simple guy. You know that, I'm sure, and that I have a plan, and I know that Senator Warren says she has a plan, but I honestly don't think she has a plan for her Happy Healer. We'll see you soon.